Good evening, everybody. I'm your host this evening, Charlie, they, him, and I have to be up at 5:30 tomorrow. I'm so excited.
Ha ha
And
ha ha.
joining with me today are...
I'm Ace Bear King. I'm the founder and chief editor of AceAnimeReviews.com, and I am sick to death of fucking anime.
You shouldn't have started an anime review site then.
Yeah,
You
do
ever
I
consider
hate
that?
anime because I review it, or do I review anime because I hate it? It's a real chicken or the egg situation.
Why would you review something because you hate it?
I don't know.
Weird.
It was
Anyway, I'm
that was
Noah,
a
they,
thing.
them,
So that was a thing in the early
and I'm
2010s.
playing Pokemon.
Oh, I'm playing Duel
If
Links.
you want to ditch Ace's stream and come to mine,
Yeah.
it's twitch.tv/Arctic Noah, ARCTICKNOA8.
Yeah, I'm playing Noah. I mean, not Noah. I'm playing Duel Links because I need something that I can ignore for long periods of time while we talk about the premieres.
Oh, that's why I'm doing level grinding.
Oh.
It's gonna be a long one today, I think.
Also, I
We'll
think
find out together.
playing Duel Links during the premiere wrap-up is just going to become traditional.
Yeah.
Might be best.
So why not?
Okay, so Ace Anime Reviews. I am speaking.
Go,
I'm
I know.
actively speaking.
You weren't speaking when I started. Fucking go. That's why I stopped.
AceAnimeReviews.com is exactly what it says on the tin, a review site specializing in anime. So we also cover movies, video games, and whatever else we feel like. Our most recent article was supposed to be by me, but last week was a mess, and I forgot, and I apologize.
That's
So
fine.
you got a week off?
Yeah,
So the most recent article is still my article on Eddie.
Yeah. Well, it's premiere month, so it's not like we're hurting for content. And there were 30 fucking premieres this goddamn month. Yeah.
Pray for us.
Yeah.
I didn't watch. Not watching all of them.
Yeah. I did watch all of them.
This is the point of the intro where we'd like to shout out our newest supporters on Patreon, but as we don't have any, we'll instead move on to briefly describing the good and fun perks you'll get if you decide to support us. Our Patreon is patreon.com/m/aceanimereviews. At the $1 tier, you'll be granted early access to our weekly reviews and the ability to vote in any polls we decide to put up. At $5, you'll be invited to join our Discord channel, where you can chat with us or any other patrons about anime, video games, manga, or whatever else. And at $10, you'll be automatically entered into a monthly drawing to join us for one of these weekly discussions. And that's all the boring stuff done. Let's get into it.
Alrighty, we've got to talk about
so
premieres.
many.
So too many goddamn premieres. So should we do like last season and just scroll backwards to the Tumblr and talk about them in reverse order?
Oh, sure.
Alright, well, especially because
Sounds like the least amount of work on my part.
since fuck, what's your name? Fen didn't post any of hers on the site, which is fine. Anyway, so the first one we have here is Cestus, the Roman fighter. And Fen's review is just watch Megalobox, and my thoughts after watching the premiere is just watch Megalobox.
Yeah.
That good.
I mean, it's fine. It's interesting. Like if Megalobox didn't exist, it'd be fun. I'd probably check it out, or if it was a less busy season. But even if another season of Megalobox wasn't airing this season, I'd probably still say just watch Megalobox. So I guess we're just moving on. There's nothing to talk about with Cestus.
What happens when Fen isn't around?
Yep.
Premiere she did.
Next is Osamake. Yeah, I didn't watch the second episode of that. I don't think I'm gonna watch any more of it. I don't care. There's just too much. There's a lot that I probably would have stuck with in a less busy season that I just kind of dropped because I just don't have enough time. It's just not enough hours in the day. And also, Make is one of them. But it has the potential to go interesting places. I don't know if it actually will.
Many things have the potential to do interesting things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, most don't bother.
Nope.
Oh, this one's...
And then there's To Your Eternity, which is a manga that I watch and really, really enjoy. I mean, I read it.
Manga that you watch?
Yeah, I read it and I really like it. I will say that the first chapter, and by extension the first episode of the anime, is the best part of it. I'm not going to say it's all down the hill from here. I'm just saying that it was really, really, really good. Like,
you're not going to say that. You're just going to lightly imply.
It's just that it's so fucking good that it's pretty much impossible to be as good, you know. But it's still very good. They made some decisions were made near the end of the first part that I wasn't happy with, and the series has not quite managed to justify yet, but it's still good. Still good manga. I'm enjoying the anime. And
I haven't read the manga.
it's on Crunchyroll's manga app, which is it's on Crunchyroll's app, which is
I enjoyed the first episode.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the second one yet, but I enjoyed the first one enough that I watched it twice.
Yeah. So it's a good damn episode. It's good. It stands alone as it would be a really good short film, just on its own. So.
It would be. It should have been.
Yeah.
I guess it shouldn't have been.
I mean, the other stuff is good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And then and Gloomy the Naughty Grizzly. It's one of those ones I did enjoy the premiere. I thought it was cute. But I like Gloomy. Remember, I don't know if anybody...
It's basically Happy Tree Friends, but like for a minute.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody remembers Tinier Me. Which was one of those social media sites where you make like an anime avatar. They got shut down after a little while. But they did a Gloomy crossover at one point, which is why I'm aware of it. But yeah, it's
See.
Yeah. So, but it was cute. If I would have watched another episode if there weren't 30 fucking anime this season. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I haven't watched 5e yet.
You haven't watched which one?
The Idle AI.
Ah, Vivi. Vivi's good.
When you insist we have to watch.
It's really good though.
I mean, they made a super advanced AI that can only handle one complicated task at a time, which does seem rather against the point of an AI.
Well, we can get to that when we actually talk about Vivi. And before then, we're on to Don't Toy With Me, Ms. Nagatoro, which is another one I did not watch the second episode of, even though it wasn't bad. But
I was looking up premieres recently for some reason, and I found the TV tropes that had all the listed premieres for this season, and someone commented on how there were 4 rom-coms, and Nagatoro, and all of them were problematic. And Nagatoro was problematic because it's S&M.
Yeah, it is. It is a kink. It's a kink anime. It's anime for people who want to be stepped on.
And as you know, kink is always problematic.
Of course. Yes, it's always bad. But well, it was a lot more wholesome than it could have been. Like they restrained from showing any like a whole bunch of panty shots, and her ass wasn't constantly at the camera, so which I know is a very low bar, but still.
But it's a bar that so many fail.
Yeah, so many fail to clear. And you know, okay. Next is Shadow's House. Oh, I'm loving Shadow's House. Shadow's House is freaking amazing.
Is it?
It is. I do recommend you check it out. It's really good.
Alright, what's it on?
It is on Funimation.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
What's Vivy on? Funny or
Funimation. And it's Vivi.
Oh, that's... What the fuck ever.
Yeah.
2 different names! One of them is stupid.
Let's see, what did I put for... Cause I remember... I was taking notes. Oh, for Gloomy I remember Aoni. I don't remember if anybody does. But, you know. Where is it? Shadow's house.
Sorry, I'm looking these up.
I think I might have forgotten
Get quiet.
take a note on this one. Nope, I forgot to take notes on Shadow's house. Oh well, it's good.
It was so good you forgot to take notes.
Yep. Next is Battle Athletes Victory Restart, which is extremely 90s. Like I can understand why Fen bounced off of it because she was only alive for 5 years in the 90s, so she doesn't remember them. But I found it nostalgic. But again, and in a less busy season, I'd probably stick with it. But yes, it's very, very 90s.
Mhm. Nothing wrong.
No, nothing wrong with that at all.
Well, as someone who lived through the 90s, there are a few things.
Well, the 90s were fine.
They were fine.
Yeah. Good. I mean, as far as the decades that we've lived through are concerned, it was one of the better ones. Though that is also a very low bar.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think the early aughts were that. I mean, I was a baby in the early aughts, but I don't think they were too bad.
No, they were bad. They were marked by paranoia and Islamophobia and everybody going on and on about 9/11 forever and never stopping.
Oh, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're right. I take it back.
Yeah, the early aughts sucked.
The early aughts were okay for me because I am white and was less than 10.
The 2010s were marginally better than the early aughts.
Yeah.
But only because...
I mean...
I remember more.
The music was okay.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
I remember more the 2010s, so they don't get as high rank in my esteem.
The better decades are always the ones you don't remember.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So by that reckoning, the 90s, the best time for me to be alive.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, objectively, it was pretty good. The economy was good. We weren't in a fucking 20-year-long war.
Yes, and there were Game Boys.
Yeah. The 90s gave us Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
And One Piece.
And Digimon.
Digimon.
3 of those things, all of those things still exist.
Yeah.
Very sad. I need...
Should we move on to the next one? Next is... I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level. So I did start that manga, but I bounced off the manga because the main character looks like Asuna from Sword Art Online, and it was really distracting. But that problem, the anime doesn't have that problem because her hair is slightly different and she's blonde. So I've been enjoying it. I liked the squeaky tree. The squeaky tree was great. Yeah, remember when she beat the adventurers? They went flying and landed in a tree, and the tree squeaked.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember what you're talking about, but I'm going to pretend I do so we can move on.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
I don't have to reveal exactly how little of that anime I kept in my thing.
Oh, it was funny. Okay, next is 86. That show is not subtle.
That was bad.
Yeah, it was a good show. It's a good show, but it's not subtle. What did I put? Subtlety is for ninja. The writers of this show.
It was. I do appreciate that they waited until the second episode to explicitly bring up eugenics.
Yeah.
In the first one, it was just heavily implied by how everyone around Lena looks like Lena.
Yeah.
Also, her name's Vladilena, which is not a name, I think.
Maybe not. But I wonder. Okay, because in the first episode, it looked like they all had like the light blue eyes and like everybody had albinism. But then in the second episode, they mentioned that everybody's eyes are silver, which means there's probably like. Anyway, but I was wondering what would happen when somebody in District 86 is born with albinism.
Oh, they're exiled. If they don't look right, they're exiled to the 86th district, and they're forced to fight in the war.
So if somebody if somebody who's the child of people who live in 86 has albinism, so therefore they look right, would they be like adopted by a family in one of the other districts, or?
No, everyone in the 85 districts looks the same, so either they'd be kept with their family but heavily stigmatized, or they'd end up with the other 86s. Like in the most recent episode.
Yeah, there was a girl somebody who did look like them, but I don't know if she was considered an 86 or if she just hangs out with them.
If she's hanging out with the 86, she's an 86. Are you talking about the? Oh God, I'm blanking on her name. I have it in my notes.
I don't know.
Her call sign is Snow Witch. Her name's Anju.
Maybe. I might be talking about her.
The one who blonde boy has an obvious crush on.
Probably.
Yeah. Cool. No, she's one of the 86s.
Okay.
But yeah, it was great. In the most recent episode, Lena went off on an entire class of new recruits, explaining the real history of San Emilia and how everyone who looks different was exiled to go die in war.
I watched it.
It was great.
Yeah, we'll get into that when we talk about the show.
Oh man.
And also,
can I just say one more thing?
Can you save it until we're actually talking about the show? Because we're talking about that show. We have. Yeah. And did we get an explanation of who they're fighting and why? I don't think that we did. Just that they're robots.
Something. Yeah. We do get an explanation, sort of, in the second episode. They think that their automated, autonomous military malfunctioned and destroyed them, and then just turned towards the Republic to destroy the Republic.
Okay. Alrighty. So they're also fighting AI, just like Vivi.
Yeah, that's also why they are so certain that the war will be over in 2 years.
Yeah.
Because the army they're fighting has a set lifespan before they'll automatically. Well, they won't automatically, but they can't fight anymore.
Okay.
And it's rapidly approaching.
Alrighty. Okay then. What's next is Tokyo Revengers.
Yeah,
that
was a good premiere.
Yeah, but it was another one I didn't watch the second episode of, which is kind of a shame because Quarter Life Crisis: Go Back to High School is one of my favorite overly specific anime genres.
Mm-hmm.
But I think part of it is because it has the same general premise as Erased, but it's not nearly as good. So, like, it's a good episode on its own, but I just spent the whole time thinking about how Erased has the same plot, but it was better.
You describe the genre as midlife crisis goes back to high school?
No, Quarter Life Crisis Go Back to High School.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's not always high school. I actually put blank school, but I was trying to make a Grease reference. I don't know if anybody picked up on that.
Nope.
Yeah, it's like beauty school dropout, go back to high school. And it's a quarter life crisis, go back to high school. Yeah, that's what I was going for. Yeah.
I just got reminded of the character. God of High School, I think it's called. Yeah, God of High School. Who's like late 30s, early 40s, and he qualifies because he went back to high school.
That's lame.
There's no age limit. They just have to be in high school.
That's okay. Never mind. That's hilarious.
Because Goku is obviously the one who was going to win.
Yeah, because he's the main character.
Yes.
Yeah.
I meant to catch back up with that webcomic, but honestly, it got to the point where it was just so exhausting. I'm sorry, we're getting distracted. What's the next one?
Pretty Boy Detective Club, which I am almost offended by how much I got into that.
They never shut up.
I know, but it's weirdly compelling. By the end of it, I was annoyed through most of the premiere, but by the end of the episode, I found myself actually invested in the little girl and her damn fucking star. And then in the second episode, they went places I was not expecting. Like like they said that the theory is that what she actually saw was a military satellite being shot down by a nuke. And now she's got like people go after her, and there seems to be like some kind of government conspiracy thing going on. And also they made the squeaky thing with the legs nearly tolerable, and I think by the end of the series I might almost like him. And it's like, I mean, I don't like most of the characters. I find most of them annoying, but I like the ones that barely talk. And it is very pretty.
I'm sorry, by nuke do you mean like
a nuclear bomb?
Full nuclear warhead.
By a nuclear bomb. Shot down a military satellite. And she was a witness when she was 4, so now there's shadowy government agents after her to stop her from talking about her military satellite that she saw shot down when she was 4 and thought was a star.
How is she not blind?
What is this on? Crunchyroll or Funimation?
It's on Funimation, I think.
Yeah, I think so. But also, if she looked directly at a nuclear bomb exploding, she would be blind.
Well, it was exploding in like the upper atmosphere or outside in space.
If she was close enough to identify it,
she didn't identify it. She thought it was a star. She thought it was
a star.
Oh, okay, well then that's
and it was
fine.
during the day, so I think that might have helped too.
Yeah.
But it's really good. Like, the first episode kind of reminded me of Clamp School Detectives, which is a series about which I remember absolutely nothing except that it exists. But
that's not by Clamp, I presume.
It is by Clamp.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is it another crossover?
It's one of their crossovers, yeah. And it is. I think it's very fun, and it's silly, and I like. It's a good kind of weird, and not like gross and not like off-putting kind of weird like Fairy Ranmaru. Which, spoilers, I didn't like Fairy Ranmaru.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're up to Blue Reflection Way, which I did I remember liking it, but I didn't watch the second episode because, again, too many damn anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
I still have to finish rewatching fucking Skate. That's why I ended up having to just give up, because I was getting distracted from things I was actually supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Also, I was frustrated about arguing with Ben about them.
Yeah. And The World Ends With You is another one. I enjoyed the first episode, but I just bought the game, and I'm just gonna play the game instead.
I liked the first episode when I was watching it, and then I finished watching it, and I sat there and I thought, wait, what just happened?
Yeah, it's one of those video anime based on a video game that I think is probably mostly for fans who already know the video game.
Mm-hmm. Death anime based on a death video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the game had a crossover with Kingdom Hearts, if I'm
I think it's
not a point in
one
its
of the
favor.
producers
Everything has
it has a lot of the same staff as Kingdom Hearts. Like Tetsuya Nomura is a producer of the game, which and Tetsuya Nomura is my nemesis, so but once I need a break from Story of Seasons, I'll probably play The World Ends With You.
I downloaded it and then realized that I wouldn't be able to play it on my emulator.
Yeah, it was a DS game. It requires motion controls.
Yeah, it's very sad. But not that sad, because again, I don't actually remember anything that happened.
Yeah. And
Wait, I remember Beat and Rhyme. Those were their
Uh,
names, and that's all I remember about them is that they were named Beat and Rhyme.
yeah. And let's see. Next is Backflip, and Backflip sure is a sports anime.
It's great.
Yeah.
I appreciate that they waited until episode 2 to get truly weird.
Yeah.
It was great. Like, and it's not as heavily queer obsessed with some sports anime, but also it's just like fun. I just really like it.
Yeah.
I'm a huge
That's
fan
good.
of nerds being nerds.
Well, that's good. I'm glad.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the second episode. I've got that bookmark, and I'm going to watch all of it.
Yeah, as far
Unless the
as
same thing happens with it that happened to Wade.
the new sports anime go,
Where they
it is my favorite. But again, I only watch one sports anime a season, and there's a new Megalobox, so I'm gonna watch Megalobox. But yeah, then and Fairy Ranmaru, which is weird and off-putting. I didn't like it.
It's bad, bro.
No, I do not
That's
care
like
for Moe
Fairy-
boys.
Oh god.
No.
They look like they want to be gay, but they're not, and it confuses me. I don't like it.
It's just pandering to Fujoshi in just the worst way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when they have to plug in that, what's the word?
I don't know.
Heteronormative bullshit at the end.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad.
Just let the Catholic fairies be gay. Give
Yeah.
them their loopholes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we have Angry Gamer Boy.
Oh, I liked that one. That's one of the ones I'm watching this season. Cause Full Dive. This ultimate next gen full dive RPG is shittier than real life. I liked it. The author of the light novel that's based on also wrote one that called The Hero is Cautious, is overpowered but overly cautious, and that was an anime a couple years ago that I really enjoyed, and I predict that I'm going to really enjoy this one too. Though
Does he ever get to be less of an idiot?
not that I know of, I haven't read ahead, but the shopkeep had some One Piece proportions.
Yeah.
And also, I know that it's mostly done just so that they don't have to design the same character twice, but VR MMOs that base your character on your real world appearance are really bad. Like, that's just, like, first of all, I don't even like making my characters look like me, except for in Pokemon, and that's only because I got my pen name from Pokemon, so it's important to me. But,
Yeah. I would understand if the game failed because of that, but no, it's because it's hard.
well, it's because
Like, have you met gamers?
Well, no, it's not because it's hard. It's because it's boring. It's a slog. Like, if you're not actually, like, super smart or super good at anything
Stubborn?
in real life, you're
Spiteful?
not gonna because it bases all your stats on your real life abilities. So you don't get any stronger in the game unless you get stronger in real life. Which,
Yeah.
because it went too much into the reality thing, and that's what they didn't like. Not that it's hard. That it's
Yes, and shit actually fucking hurts. Real bad.
Yeah, it's too much like real life. Like, why would they pay $120 to play a game that acts like real life when they just already have real life, and they can pay that to play a game that lets them be super fucking badass?
Why would they pay $120 to play a game at all? I asked.
Because it's a
Carefully
VR
guiding
MMO.
my switch order. Interrupted my joke.
Yeah. Because it's virtual reality. I know. I guess you can't. They probably anime isn't going to promote piracy, unfortunately, unless it's like actual pirates.
That's very
I will.
Yeah. What's up, Fen?
Is that Ben's voice?
That's Fen. What did Fen say? Yeah, it's a parody of SAO. Yeah.
Hey, Fang, you could just turn on your computer and join us.
Yeah, you should join
The
us.
voice is already on.
Nope, she's gone.
Nope, there she goes. Alright, moving
yeah,
on.
Super
Super Cub.
It was a Honda ad.
Yeah, did you see that one?
Okay,
There's like I think it's a 3-minute like McDonald's put out an anime to like try and recruit employees. It's like 3 minutes
The
long.
one that's super gay?
I don't know. I don't remember. But
Are you talking about the anime where someone gets hired at McDonald's and instantly falls in love with her very impressive senpai
probably.
over making fries and burgers?
Probably. But I think somebody at Honda saw that and they're like, McDonald's ain't shit. We're gonna produce a whole anime to sell our motorcycles.
Or a light novel or something.
Oh, I don't know.
No, it's based on a manga or some shit. I googled it.
Is it? And then, I guess Honda was like, hey, we will pay for this. As long as you put our motorcycles in the fucking thing.
Yeah, it's a light novel series.
Yeah. It's like, it was just like...
Finished checking my computer. She cannot believe.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Oh, no. We're talking about Super Cup.
Yeah, I put it in note that's like, if we use a minimalist soundtrack and have a sad protagonist, that's the same as being sincere and authentic.
Sure.
Ain't it though?
It was roughly 25 minutes too long for sincere or authentic.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I think if there had been other characters, it could have worked. But plus, it was just too much of an obvious commercial. It's like, wow, you can fill it up for only 500 yen. That's so economical. Also, I liked how she forgot what gasoline is.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think that would have been on the test. And how she said she had no money, yet she was able to pay for a test and pay for a helmet and pay for a motorcycle. But she has no money.
It's because she lives in Fantasyland.
Of course.
Also, Super Cub isn't a motorcycle, it's a scooter.
I know. You know what I mean.
It's like a motorcycle, but boring.
Yeah.
When I thought it was a motorcycle ad, I thought maybe that'll be worth something. And then she got a scooter.
Well, she is a high schooler. She can't buy a motorcycle yet. She can only get a moped.
High schoolers can ride motorcycles.
Not in Japan.
Isn't it like the whole point of biker gangs? Like, oh my god, I'm
That
blanking on the name. Kyoko?
Well, they're also criminal. They're delinquents.
Yeah.
They're riding them illegally.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Still, it'd be worth it.
Yeah. I guess. Alrighty. Oh, cats are fighting. Kick his ass, Nora.
Hi, cat.
Alright.
No! That's your differences.
Next we
love each other.
Next we have the Saint's power is omnipotent. I didn't like it. Moving on. Seven Nights Revolution. I didn't like that one either. Moving on. Odd Taxi. Odd Taxi's really good. I love it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you should watch it.
People were blogging it on
They
Tumblr,
do.
so it must be popular.
Yeah, it's got like, last I checked, it had 45 notes, which is about 9 times what we usually get. So, you know. And, Mother's Basement guy was worried that it was going to be underrated. It's like, no, I think it's going to be okay. I think people are going to watch it. It's really good. Oh, 55 notes is what it has now. It's got 55 notes.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, are we still talking about Odd Taxi? I had to let the dog out.
We're still talking about Odd Taxi. But Odd Taxi's really good. Odd Taxi says all cops are bastards. Which they are.
And they're right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really good. I recommend it. Check it out. Next we've got Higehiro, which is one that we're going to be talking about this season. A lot of it makes me uncomfortable, but I think it's supposed to.
I think it's... Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't pick it because it's, like, great.
Yeah.
But there's room to talk there.
Yeah.
I don't think the third episode needed to end the way it did, regardless of how uncomfortable.
Or even start the way it did.
No. But
yes,
yeah.
that is what I just said. The third episode did not need to start the way it did.
No.
You said end.
Well, didn't...
Oh.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. But I think that it helped to kind of set in the thing. I mean, it kind of like helped to like establish just how kind of jaded she is and and to further like emphasize just how little she wants Yoshio to want to have sex with her.
It didn't need to be that long.
No, it didn't need to be that long. But yeah, I think
it could have been 10 seconds. We'd get the point. It would have been more realistic on the man's part.
Yeah. But
oh shit! Don't.
But what?
Yeah, that girl got some good trauma.
Oh yeah, but there's a manga that I've been reading on Crunchyroll called One Room of Happiness that the first episode kind of reminded me of. It's set up like a guy kidnapped this high school girl he was stalking. And he was totally stalking her, but she actually ran away with him because her parents are super abusive.
Mm-hmm.
And like she was saying that I'll marry you, but it's very obvious she doesn't want to marry him, and their relationship kind of settles into something much more platonic. But that's what that's what the series reminded what the first episode reminded me of, and I'm really hoping it doesn't pull a bunny drop.
What?
Okay, so a bunny drop.
They've been pretty consistent with him rejecting her.
Yes. Bunny drop.
He very obviously sees her as a child.
Yeah.
And he ain't into that.
Yeah. A Bunny Drop is an anime about a guy who adopts a little girl, and then at the end of the anime does not get this far, but at the end of the manga, the little girl, who is now an older teenager, and him get married.
Ew.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. All I was looking for there was either a clarification on whether it was a phrase or an anime. I did not need to know what anime.
Well, the anime does not get that far. The anime is cute. The manga, do not read the manga.
Oh, Andres, pick up a knife. Thank you.
Yeah. Speaking of cute, let's make a mug too.
That was super cute.
It was cute. I thought the dad's kind of like thing was resolved a bit too quickly, but I think that's probably just part because it's a 15-minute episode.
Mm-hmm.
That and it's clearly been quite a few years, and it might just come up later as she gets more into ceramic.
Maybe, I won't know. I didn't watch the second episode.
I've seen all three. Unfortunately, the reason I ended up not putting it forward for consideration for our weekly anime chats is that it is one of those anime that it looks like it's just going to end up being, oh, this was really cute this week, and that's all we'd have to say about it.
Yeah.
It's just a club anime.
Yeah.
Each episode is released with a little bonus episode behind the scenes type thing, though, that I have not been watching, and I probably should, because they look like they'd be cute.
I started watching one, and it was boring.
I started watching one and then realized that I had 4 billion other premieres to watch.
Yeah, it was just one of those like idol type things where they just fuck around and do random shit. It's boring. Next we have Goodbye My Dear Kramer. It was fine.
I couldn't get through the episode. Crunchyroll wouldn't let me.
I mean, I like football, but that's the only way I managed to get through it as much as I did is that I like soccer. But they barely played any soccer.
That's a crime. I would have been more inclined to give it a second chance after Crunchyroll failed for the 4th time to play the episode all the way through, if it weren't for how it started. And I know Fen has assured us that it gets better after that point.
Yeah.
But I don't want to hear bullshit about the differences between male and female soccer ability on an inherent genetic level.
Especially when it's false.
Boring.
Especially when it's not true.
Yeah.
And Japan's women's soccer team is one of the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, it was very obvious from the very beginning that this series was written by a man.
Yeah, in his last series, which I started but never finished because I just got distracted by other things, it does end with the love interest dying. So he does that sort of thing. He likes tragedy. So I don't know if that's in this, but I did like, there was somebody, one of the characters I liked, the one with the creepy eyes. I liked her. But yeah.
You know what? I just suddenly got flashbacks to. Hey, Charlie, remember? God, what was it called? Would you like to eat my pancreas?
I
I've
remember
heard
you
of that.
gushing about that one and insisting we go back to Barnes & Noble so you could finish it.
I've heard of that. Apparently there was like a movie or something recently.
Yes, there is. I can't find a sub version of it. I haven't been looking very hard, but yeah, it's about a girl who's dying and she runs into like a very aloof person who doesn't do human connection. And she dies at the end. But they don't really have a romance, which is nice.
Yeah. But,
she doesn't die of her illness, to be fair. She gets shanked in an alley.
Oh!
Spoilers, she gets stabbed in an alley months before she was supposed to die of her illness.
Weird.
Yeah, it was but they had the title comes from a conversation they have early on about how in one of the cultures, eating someone's organs did something, I don't remember. It was very cute.
Alright.
Anyway.
Moving on, Dragon goes house hunting.
Boring.
It wasn't funny. I think the comedic timing was bad. It kills every joke.
Yeah,
it's killed by the comedic timing.
The only part that inspired any emotion in me was when an elf person showed up and was very attractive for 5 seconds before they opened their mouth.
Yeah, it could have been a lot funnier if the animation was better, but as it was, it caused like every punchline to take too long to land.
Yeah, it's an adaptation of what are they called? The 4-panel comic things.
And those really need to have to keep going. You just gotta go, joke.
Yeah.
And they kind of slowed it down too much, and it's lost. I liked when the dragon was with the dwarves, and the dwarves were like, "Sure, we'll help you," and then they started planning on how to eat them. That was funny.
Yeah, I mean, also like if you're gonna have a dragon protagonist, the joke cannot be your dragon protagonist is secretly super weak and cowardly, because that's not interesting.
No. But
okay.
Anyway, it was boring. Let's move on.
Yep. Let's see. Next we have combatants will be dispatched. It has the pacing of a 3-minute anime, but it's a full thing, which made it incredibly stressful to sit through.
Yeah, I couldn't continue after the first couple minutes because it was just I was getting flashbacks to fucking Jobless, and I won't do that again. I won't.
Yeah, well, Jobless at least had the grace to be good, despite all the good, despite its content.
I think audacity would have been a better word there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Combatants was fun. I mean, the premise is funny. I don't remember what it was. I just remember that it was funny. But the pacing it just kind of ruined everything.
Oh yeah, they're trying to take over the world.
Yeah, something. I don't know.
It's just bad.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else I watched recently? Nope, we're gonna wait until general discussion to get into
tangents.
General discussion is gonna be our talking about our anime because.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
You can wait for plugs.
How am I supposed to complain about Rise of Skywalker? Why do we have
Rise of Skywalker? Shit to get through. Yeah. I have a 5:30 fucking wake up call.
Yeah.
Vivi!
Okay, I'm sorry.
Vivi's really good. It's not an idle anime.
They're super advanced AI.
It's not an idle
AI. Can't handle multiple.
Okay, so
you
the
missions.
Forgive
me for thinking it might be going down the idle anime track.
Yeah.
Because she very much wants to sing.
Because she's, but the missions that they give are very broadly could be interpreted very broadly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the thing is like you can't be both a caretaker and a soldier because then you'll get confused because you are a robot, and the programming could get screwed up. Yeah.
Fen would like to contribute but doesn't want to stay on mic. Apparently, it's written by the same person as ReZero.
I know. It's great. I love it. I love ReZero. ReZero is one of my favorite anime.
I have warmed to it.
Yeah. But like I described it as Terminator with Miku. Well, I said Kizuna I, and then fan corrected me, but it's Hatsune Miku and a robotic teddy bear. But it also reminded me of Caligula, which is an anime I remember absolutely nothing else about except that it had like a robot idol or something. I think I watched it all, but it was one of those anime where so much happened that I can't remember what happened. So
Yeah. Okay. Snow White Notes.
Is that the next one?
Oh, that was-
That's Eddie.
yeah.
Yep, Snow White Notes. I did not watch the second episode. I did like the first one. Turns out that the lady at the end is his mom.
His actual mother, who
His
bursts
actual
into
mother.
his borrowed apartment, licks her lips, and calls him Baby John.
Yeah, I thought she was a sugar mama, but she's his actual mother.
I thought she was like a stalker or an ex or something.
Nope,
But
she's
no,
mom.
that's his actual literal mother.
Yep, his mom.
I do think a big failing for me on this anime is that I just don't like the music in it.
I
Like,
like
it has-
the music.
It has the exact opposite. I know, but music is deeply emotional and subjective.
I
and
liked
it
the
just
characters.
It just bounced off me.
I didn't like the characters. I
didn't
thought
like
they
the
were boring.
characters.
I don't think I
They
like
were.
sad boy music anime.
I don't think anyone does.
Yeah. Well, lots of people
Honestly,
do.
I don't
That's why
know
they keep
it's
making
being
them.
made, but I mean, it just doesn't connect with the Western audience because we're used to our music having a lot of things going on at all times.
Yeah.
And for the most part, Western culture tends towards rage and not sad reflection.
But I like shamisen music. One of my favorite KK Slider songs is KK Jongara, which is that. So, but it's good.
Shamisen,
Yeah, shamisen.
shamisen,
Yeah.
the Cubo instrument. That's the only thing I know. Other thing
Yeah.
I know about it, and I liked how it was played in there, but it was combined with other instruments, which
Though I do think
Did it
that
cut
if
it?
somebody went to see a rock song and got a rock concert and got shamisen, that they would be annoyed no matter how good the shamisen was.
oh yeah.
Because that's not what they paid to see, you know?
It was fine.
Like,
and
maybe
the,
if
the
you-
music was fine. It has the exact opposite problem for me that 86 does, where the music isn't good enough, where in 86 the music is too good,
Oh yeah,
and it makes me angry.
the guy who does the music in '86 is really, really, really good. He's
Honestly, the entire we're getting
Tangent?
distracted. We'll talk about this later.
yeah. We'll
Yes.
talk about it
Okay,
later.
stop. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Moving
I'm
on.
For
right back.
every tangent, you will owe me a cigarette.
Yes.
You're gonna smoke the entire pack tomorrow anyway. Don't smoke.
Okay.
Moving on.
Burning
Burning.
Kabaddi.
I wrote a poem about the first episode.
Oh.
Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
Sure.
I do not like this anime. This isn't how I'll spend my day. The sound don't works. The caster jerks, and it's not even fucking gay. I don't know how an anime about wrestling can manage to not be homoerotic, but it
It's not
does.
about wrestling.
It's a type of wrestling. It's like somebody
sort of
commented.
tag.
Somebody commented on your thing that it's a type of wrestling that originated in India.
Yeah. I didn't mean to insult the sport.
They
It's
did.
just-
I don't think that they were insulted. They were just explaining
No.
what it was.
Sure.
And in
Yeah.
regards to
Natural habitat is great,
Yeah.
but in anime it's bad.
yeah. Well,
This
I mean,
anime-
it could be
this
good if it was a
specific
good
anime.
anime, but it's not. Everybody's an asshole.
Yeah. Everybody's an asshole, and they should have just left the guy in his room to fucking stream.
Yeah, let him do his thing.
Yeah, I don't get why sports anime does that. Like in real life, if you put someone on a sports team that doesn't want to do the sport, they don't play it. There was not a single person on any of the sports teams I was on who had to be bullied into being there.
Mm-mm.
If we weren't interested, we did not do it.
No,
Yeah.
you just wouldn't participate. If they threw you on the
like,
field, you
that's-
just stand there.
That's how I ended up being one of the best, having the best times at the 500 in our swim team, because nobody fucking likes doing the 500.
Yeah.
That's 500 yards, meters. It's like 20 laps.
Yeah.
And only like
Long-
5 of us
long
were
swim.
willing to do it. It's great. It's so great. I love doing 500.
Alright,
Jordan.
next, Jordan. So, I did enjoy the first episode. I thought I liked the style. I thought it was neat. I liked the lightsaber sword cane. I thought that was neat. I did not watch the second episode because it wasn't good enough for me to continue stick with it in such a busy season. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Mars Red. I am enjoying Mars Red. I'm still watching Mars Red. Mars Red is great.
Yeah, it took me a minute to get into it, but
It's
I
very
didn't continue it because there's too many fucking anime to keep up with, but
It's very disappointing. It's very. I noticed that the papers that not only does it match it, the animation matched their hands while they're writing, but they write in different handwriting. It's fucking amazing.
yeah. That one is made by a lot of people who very obviously love what they're doing.
Yeah, I called it a prestige anime, which isn't really a term, but it's what I'm going to use to refer to anime made by a lot of like heavy hitters in the field. Like 86 would be a prestige anime. Pretty Boy Detective Club is a prestige anime.
Yeah.
But it is really good, and it's really pretty, and I like the characters. I like the pharmacist guy. He's fun. He's one with the pink hair. But yeah, last one. It's Koikimo.
Koikimo.
I dropped that one because before it even got to the part that everybody hated, because just the framing around the bento was like, hey, this is an auto drop, and it was, and I dropped it, and I don't regret dropping it because it was bad.
Yeah, apparently.
Yep.
I didn't watch it.
No, you didn't miss out on anything. It sucked.
If you're going to release anime before the proper season, I'm not gonna fucking watch it, and you can't make it. Make me.
Nope.
Your mic is off.
Sorry, I had to put the dog outside. I actually tried to find the manga online,
Why?
and then I made the mistake of, instead of reading the manga, reading the comments below the site, on the site that I was looking at it on. And everyone was so upset that people were upset at the pedophile manga after only one episode of pedophile anime.
Yeah. It's because it's creepy. It's not even really.
Yeah.
I like the ephebophilia is bad. Don't go after teenagers. They're too young for you. But worse is
It
that
doesn't
she
matter
straight
if
up
they
tells
save
you,
your life.
I'm not interested. Leave me alone. And everybody around him is also like, is completely ignoring the fact that she's not interested and wants him to leave her alone.
Yeah, that's especially egregious since his sister is like her best friend and she's trying to get them together.
Yeah, it's
Like,
gross.
You know this is bad, right? You understand that your friend's not interested, right?
Yeah. Like, I know, I
so
understand
bad.
that you don't understand the problem of age differences because you are a literal child. But she said no. She said she's not interested. She said she thinks he's creepy.
Yeah, I had so much hope during that scene when they first ran into each other at his house, and it just filled the screen with grief, like, oh my god, he'll get it, and they'll stop, and this isn't the age gap romance everyone is claiming it is. And then it didn't.
Yeah.
Did not take that and run with it. I was,
Nope.
wow, man.
But yeah, nope. That one is a whole lot of no. So, guess we're moving on to what's up. Should we move on to the 4 anime that we're
no, I was
talking about
gonna
this
say-
season? No, go for it.
Okay, so I think the first episode did do the right thing in keeping their age gap somewhat ambiguous, because I actually had to look it up to find out how old they were. Like, if it had been last year of high school, first year, and he just went straight into fucking employment right after high school,
So they were like a
there's
year
only
apart.
year between them, that would have been one thing.
Yeah.
Anime character design is all over the place all the time. Let me turn my mic down. All over the place all the time. But he's like 10 years older than her.
Yeah. And it doesn't
It's
help that
bad.
it starts with him disregarding some woman that he had sex with. So he's just a creep even towards people his own age. He just does not treat people like people.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just an asshole.
I get when you're used to people wanting to take advantage of your body and then someone doesn't. That can be confusing at first. But I like how Hero has handled the tree more than.
Yeah. Higehiro is just better at this whole premise than Koikimo is. It's just like, and part of it, a lot of it is like, okay, so age gap anime where one of them is a teenager and one of them is an adult is actually kind of fine if it's targeted to teenagers and from the perspective of the teenager, because that is a common fantasy among kids. It's part of a normal part of their sexual development is crushes on adults. But this is targeted towards adults. It's a josei manga. So, like, who is this supposed to appeal to? Adults don't like this. They think it's creepy. Only teenagers like this kind of thing, and it's not even targeted to teenagers.
Clearly there are some adults who do like it because it was popular enough as a manga that it has become an anime.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are y'all ready to talk about our anime for this season?
Yep, we're talking about 4. And they are Fruits Basket, Vivi, 86, and Higehiro. So let's start with Fruits Basket. Do we want to give some background to our personal history with Fruits Basket, or do we just want to get into it?
I don't have any.
I watched it in high school. I read it in high school. Yeah, it was good.
Ace first.
Yeah.
It's one of the first manga I really got into, and one that I used to talk about with Carrie Ann, my older sister. And it has my first OTP in it. Just Toru and Kyo. I don't know if I want to how spoilery we should get, but yeah, but I love Fruits Basket, and a lot of it has different framing coming at it as an adult than as a teenager, and I think the biggest thing is that I find that I like Yuki a lot more as an adult. I get him more as an adult as I did as a teenager. Like, as a teenager, I found him kind of annoying and whiny, but as an adult, I get it, where he's coming from a lot better. And the whole thing with Shigure, like, I would think that there would be something that I could say aged poorly, but I think you are always supposed to find him shady and creepy and gross in all the ways that he is shady and creepy and gross. So, the thing that aged worse is Kagura, because that kind of that kind of slapsticky romance just doesn't work well in this day and age, and also the way they victim blame Kyo for it. Like, oh, she wouldn't abuse you if you were nicer to her. Like, he's not nice to her because she abuses him. So,
That did hit different when I was reading the manga. I haven't caught up on the anime yet. I'm sorry. I've been trying. But
that's fine.
It did hit different from when I read it in, like, early middle school to when I read it in my junior year of high school.
Yeah. Like, I mean, even when I first read it, Kagura was never my favorite, but I at least found her funny. I don't find her funny anymore. I don't like her at all. I mean, she's better at the end of the manga when she's not around as much. And when
she does get more tolerable after they have their actual adult conversation.
Yeah, and her
just her sincerely, but
and her focus is and her character is more about being Reen's sister than being Kyo's possible love interest.
Yeah, that was never gonna happen.
Yeah, nope.
Toru was always right there. Sorry, Kagura.
Yeah, like I said that we weren't going to spoil things, but it was billed as being a love triangle, but it's not. Yuki was never a viable option. She was always, even from the beginning, she had a big thing for her, and Kyo had a thing going. So
I sort of liked it in an unrequited love kind of way. When I first read the series, up until I think it was volume 4 or 5, where he just comes out and says, "Oh yeah, I think of her as a mother," and then I thought, "Oh yeah, that's much cuter. Let's stick with that."
Yeah, like.
And I like his.
Yeah, and I like that he doesn't literally mean that he sees her as his mom. He sees her as a maternal figure because his own mom sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. And but in the most recent episode was about Machi's backstory. And kicking Machi out was probably the best thing her parents could have done for her, because they were awful to her. Just like fully and horrible.
I will say, I do wonder who keeps their house clean after they get married and move in together.
Nobody
neither
does.
of them clean.
Their kid, there's a sequel one, and their kid says that their house is always a disaster area.
So no one does.
Nobody. So yeah. Then
it's a wonder their children didn't die of some illness very early on.
Yeah. So
I'm sure Toru cleans it whenever she goes over there.
Yeah. My other note is how Machi could make her room imperfect without making it hazardous. I suggested putting posters on walls, stacking her books instead of lining them up. Don't bother making her bed, because you don't need to do that. Actually, making your bed is makes it easier for you to get bed bugs than just leaving it messy. And to lay her rug asymmetrically. And then she can clean up and not leave trash around, and she won't have to worry about tripping or getting a disease or anything like that. So but they did kind of. At the end, they did kind of do that with Yuki breaking the chalk, which was nice.
It was cute.
Yeah.
It was cute. I've always really liked that moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a very subtle and sweet acknowledgement of her.
Yeah, a lesser manga would have had him narrating why he was doing it, but we didn't need him to. We get it.
No, we didn't, because it was a good manga.
Yeah. Carrie-Ann, we're talking about Fruits Basket. Come talk about Fruits Basket with us.
Talking about Fruits Basket. Talk about Fruits Basket with us, or she's going to bed.
Aw, okay.
She also has to be up at 5:30.
Yeah.
And unlike Charlie, she can't sleep on the drive.
Yeah. And if we'd done this last week.
Which we didn't.
Which we didn't, because you guys were in Oceanside. Or at least one of you was. I was going to talk, because when I was watching that last episode, which was about Shigure and Akito, I had the realization that, did Shigure groom Akito? Like, probably not intentionally, he was a child himself.
It's complicated. The power dynamics between them are severely
unbalanced.
Messed up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it is kind of
complicated.
I think it is kind of manages to balance out, because he's a lot smarter than. Okay, so for Akito's gender thing, so should we let's just refer to them as they them pronouns until it gets resolved, because we know how it's going to be resolved because we read the manga, but we'll talk about it when it happens. So he's a lot smarter than they are, and he's 10 years older than them, so he has the edge on life experience and also not being horribly traumatized by a shitty mother. So I think that manages to counterbalance the they being God type thing.
Yeah, their relationship is never terribly healthy.
No, it's super fucking toxic.
Yeah, but I think they do get a little bit better towards the end.
Yeah, they just.
When Shigure's done manipulating them into helping him do what he wants, and breaking hers, their relationship improved drastically.
Oh yeah.
I can only assume through months and months of very intense therapy.
Yes. Years of that.
I hope so.
I really hope that Akito had to write a letter to everybody that they hurt to apologize.
I mean, they probably tried.
Yeah.
Like, it's very telling, because I did read the sequel manga. It's very telling that Yuki and Kyo still will not have anything to do with Akito, even though their kid is practically their kid's sibling.
It's understandable. They can Akito can do better, and to improve their own thing and how they treat people, and still have the people that they hurt decide they want nothing to do with them. And that is perfectly fair.
Yeah, and I thought that was a very good choice. I appreciated it, both as a child and when I grew up more.
Yeah. But yeah, Fruit Basket is good. I like Fruit Basket a lot.
It is good.
Next is Vivi.
Oh, we never got into
Vivi's really good. Oh, you should watch it. It's really good. I like that they have a very long-term view of cause and effect. Like, it's not just we can prevent the robot uprising by doing this, making sure this specific thing doesn't happen. It's like, no, you have to stop this thing, and then this thing, and then this thing, because stuff like that doesn't happen just because of one. Like for example, like an insurgence in the Capitol building doesn't happen because of one speech. It happens because of years and years and decades of building resentment and income inequality and people taking advantage of that kind of thing. And it's like...
I have to step away from my computer for a moment, but you guys keep talking about Vivi.
But the writer of ReZero and Vivi is really, really smart, and he gets sociology better than a lot of writers do. Which is why, and his when he starts politicking, it gets real good. He's just like
and I do appreciate that they're very clear that they're not gonna try and save every accidental or fucking natural disaster or whatever bullshit. It's very specific. This is what we're doing, and everybody else is fucked.
Yeah, it's like if it's not to do with this, don't fuck with it, because we don't know what kind of effect it could have.
Yes, and Vivi has very realistic reactions to that sort of logic.
Yeah. And I think that an interesting thread of discussion that we can have throughout the season is Vivi's ideas of what makes humans humans versus 86's ideas of what makes humans humans.
Yeah.
And both of their treatment of and depiction of AI and all that kind of thing.
Oh god, we're going to be talking about a lot of politics this season, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So is Noah back? Is Noah back, or should we talk about the Spider till they get back? Speaking of politics.
I haven't caught up with Spider.
Oh, I'm starting to actually care about the human stuff. The human stuff is getting interesting.
Yeah.
But though I think it'd be really cool. I don't know if it's what they're doing, or if it was just dumb kids being dumb kids. But it is a rant that's been percolating for a while. That they would stop conflating transgender and gay.
That would be nice.
Yeah, because the whole reason it took me till I was 28 to realize I was transgender, it was because my whole childhood I thought trans was like a type of ultra gay. And since I'm not into women, I didn't think that it would be applicable. But yeah.
It took me until adulthood because I never really thought about that shit.
Yeah.
And when my loving siblings asked me in high school, "Are you straight?" I didn't understand what y'all meant.
I never asked you that.
So I said no, and you laughed at me.
I never asked you that. That wasn't me. Probably
yeah,
Courtney.
It would have to be you and or Carrie Ann.
Or it would have been Courtney. Courtney, that sounds like something she would do. She's a Nazi
we
now,
were never in the same high school together.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it would have had Carrie Ann, because Ken and I were too young to know what straight and gay was.
Are you sure it wasn't of somebody that you went to high school with who wasn't a sibling? Because I don't remember ever doing...
It's entirely possible that Courtney just did it when you were hanging out at home. She was kind of that kind of...
No, I remember being near the entrance of the school. We were at the Rubidoux campus, We're on a tangent. Moving on.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah.
Courtney's a Nazi now. Moving on.
Anyway.
Well, so
Yes,
we were
there's been a lot
saying.
of politics this season. That's why I picked 86.
Yeah, and I've seen that an interesting thread that we can discuss once you get caught up on Vivi is their thesis, I guess, on what makes human human versus 86's thesis on what makes human human.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because they both have the same.
I suspect Vivi's is more subtle than 86.
Vivi, yeah, it is. Vivi's very subtle. Vivi's a lot more Ghost in the Shell type.
It's hard to be less subtle than 86, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were listening when I gave you my headphones when I was watching the second episode, but the soundtrack is this show as a whole is about as subtle as the soundtrack was.
No, it's not subtle. They're just Nazis. They're democratic Nazis,
right.
weirdly, but they're Nazis.
Yeah.
Yep. But
I can't imagine why this show would have been, why this series would have gotten popular in the last few years.
yeah, it's like turns out that democracy and fascism are not mutually exclusive. Who would have thunk?
Ooh. Well, to be fair, a lot of people would have thunk.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have thunk.
Not anybody who's
That's
been
kind of
paying attention and
problem.
has half a brain.
That's true, but most white people don't have to pay attention
No.
because they're safe, more or
Yeah.
less. And those are the only people that, in our specific country, the government actually cares about.
Yeah. Also, probably not a coincidence that they referred to their handlers as pigs.
Yeah, it's an example of the mutual dehumanization between the two, which, for the record, is completely justifiable on the part of the 86.
Oh, yeah.
On the 86's part, but
Yeah.
unforgivable when it comes from the military powers that are using them as cannon fodder.
Yeah, like the whole thing is about it's about dehumanization and drone warfare and AI and fascism, and it's just it's really, really good and really, really, really not fucking around and really, really, really not subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, I don't find Lena as sympathetic. Are we talking about 86 now?
Yes, we are talking about 86. Yeah, Lena is not
Okay,
not super sympathetic.
I don't find her as sympathetic as the series wants me to, because yes,
I think
she goes out and she rants against the propaganda and the bullshit, but she also willingly participates in it and doesn't
I
actively
think
try
that's
to change
actually
anything.
I think that is kind of the point. Somebody did ask her, "Have you been to the war zone? Have you fought alongside the
once.
86?"
But not to fight.
Yeah. So I think that she's a hypocrite, and they're not trying to pretend like she's not a hypocrite. Like, she's a nice hypocrite. She's not a hypocrite on purpose, but she is a hypocrite.
Hold on, there's a note somewhere on this. What's his name? Mechanic? I'm blanking.
I don't know.
Mechanic. To the boy putting another scrap of the name carved into a box of name scraps from dead teammates. Your handler must live a hard life, the poor thing.
Yeah.
It was just... It was great.
Yeah,
it was a great moment.
Keeping all those...
It was the most subtle.
Yeah, though keeping all those stuff... Probably not good for the Undertaker's mental health. Also, I just wanted to point out that Shine, his name Shine, actually means die in Japanese. Shine.
I know.
It's not subtle.
So subtle.
Yes, subtlety. Thy name is not the 86.
But it was nice to see an example of why he called the Reaper outside of his mercy-killing duties. Because he
and also outside of him talking his handler into suicide.
Yeah.
That's why he's called the Undertaker.
Yeah.
But saving mementos of the dead like that is bad for his mental health and probably not something that should be encouraged.
Absolutely.
Like in a real world military, he would be out on a psych for doing that.
Well, fortunately for him, this is not a real world military.
Nope.
And
Yeah.
he's not considered human anyway, so they probably wouldn't care.
No.
It's just nice that, what was I about to say?
I don't remember.
Neither do I. I got distracted by Pokemon. God. Oh, also, what I was going to say earlier. I understand why 86's sound design has to be so fucking good, because it is ostensibly that, considering that the fake sci-fi premises that they're syncing their audio, so the audio quality should be excellent.
Yeah.
It has no fucking right to have better audio than any other show, movie, or video game I have consumed in the last several years.
Sure, it has a right. It's a prestige anime. It's got some of the best people in the business working on it.
Also, when you were talking about how in Mars Red people had different handwriting, I noticed when I was rewatching it earlier, not Mars Red, 86 earlier today, that when they zoom out of characters and they have to distance shots, they don't even bother drawing the mouths, let alone animating them moving.
Yeah, Bones does that in I most noticed it in Bungo Stray Dogs, is that they, in some ones with wide shots, they won't draw the characters' faces in order to save on animation costs. But they bring it back for, I think it's something that they do for the Blu-ray, is that they finish that kind of stuff. But yeah.
It's a good show though.
Yeah, it's a good show.
I'm looking forward to it.
And you know what? Subtlety in this kind of thing can be a bit overrated. Like, American History X wasn't subtle, and white supremacists love it. Fight Club tried to be subtle, and white supremacists love it. So, you know, sometimes being subtle it works against you. Especially when doing stuff like this. And sometimes not being subtle doesn't help. Like Dragon Age.
Yeah.
Dragon Age isn't subtle. People still manage to fuck it up.
Dragon Age doesn't have to be subtle.
No.
Because Dragon Age is no longer trying to say anything.
No.
Except that the Dalish are stupid and dumb, and the past is always wrong, and you can't try out together any no matter what you want.
They said yeah. But yeah.
Any other night, you could tangent all you want.
Dragon Age gave up the need to be subtle when they decided that instead of focusing on the Mage Templar War at the end of Dragon Age, that started at the end of Dragon Age 2, they were instead going to bring a literal demon from hell in for the main antagonist of England.
I haven't played it. I've only played the first game, and the first game isn't subtle, and people still get confused.
Seriously.
Because people are just dumb.
Yeah.
That's what I was referring to. Anyway, let's move on to Higehiro, which is subtle. And very deeply uncomfortable. And it's supposed to be very deeply uncomfortable. Just like Jobless Reincarnation is supposed to be very deeply uncomfortable. But Higehiro is so far more, I can put up with how very deeply uncomfortable it is a lot more than I can with
Higehiro is exhibitionist about how uncomfortable it is.
Yeah,
but they actually address the problems, or they're trying to address the problems as they come up and progress past them.
Yeah, I think
they're very consistent with talking shit out.
Sometimes the camera does seem to kind of undermine the point that they're making, but I think also, I don't know if it's undermining it or if we're supposed to find these kind of typically fan servicey shots to be we're supposed to be grossed out by these.
I think we're supposed to be grossed out.
Yeah.
I don't think we're supposed to be grossed out, but we are clearly supposed to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, we're supposed to be
the kind of vulnerability she's trying to show.
And we're supposed to feel like Yoshida is in that moment where we're kind of turned on, but also really deeply disturbed and uncomfortable by this whole situation.
Yeah, we just want her to stop.
Yes, we want her to stop. It's like this is not proper behavior for somebody your age.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do appreciate that whenever she calls him nice, his first thought is, your bar is way too low, sweetie.
Yes. It's like,
Because he is a bit of a
Yeah.
perv, and he acknowledges that.
yeah, he's like, I'm not nice. Those guys were shit.
Yeah.
And I like the Kohai. I don't know why he doesn't just
Mishima?
yeah. Okay, so I get why he doesn't just tell them that he's got a high school girl hanging out at his house because they're gonna misinterpret that. But he could say that she's a relative. He's like, I'm looking after my little sister. My relative's kid is staying with me. You know, something like, or I'm fostering a runaway. He doesn't have to say how old she is. He just has to say that tell him the truth. I'm fostering a runaway. He should.
But he got bad advice from his coworker, didn't he? From his friend in the first episode.
Maybe he should have gone to the police right away.
Yeah.
That was
Well,
like, just to let them know, hey, like he could try to get legal custody of her.
Yeah, I think he's
I think
worried
she's
that
too old
if
for
does
that.
anything like that, she's gonna run
Yeah.
or draw attention from her family, and she very obviously does not want to go back to them right now.
Yeah, like, and I liked in the most recent episode when she was asking about her family and she starts talking. It's like, no, we get along fine, and we think she's talking about her parents, and then we're like, oh no, she's talking about Yoshida. She's talking about Yoshida as being her family.
yeah.
That was a very sweet moment.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, Yoshida needs to stop asking women about their tits, like right now.
Seriously.
I mean, I get what they're going for with that, but it's so gross.
Yeah, like
The
well,
only one he's asked is his boss,
and he'd been
And
drinking.
Sayu?
and
I think she
Oh,
brought
did
it
he?
up. I think
brought it up.
with Sayu she brought it up first, and with the
Yeah,
boss
right up
he'd been
in
drinking,
defense to us.
she gave him, and they'd been chatting, and she gave him the option to ask him something, and the mood was appropriate. It was appropriate in the moment.
Yeah, and I do appreciate him calling Goto out on her fucking mixed signals.
Yeah,
Like, she turned him down, and then she asked him out for shit, and he's confused.
I would have liked if she said, well, I like hanging out with you. I want us to be friends. Which is a perfectly understandable and totally cool thing for her to want.
Yeah. And there has been some time since she turned him down, so it's reasonable to think, hey, maybe we could try being friends now.
Yeah.
But still, that's...
I mean, it hasn't been that long, because she dumped him. She rejected him the same day he met Sayu.
It's been
That was why he was out drinking.
at least.
Yeah. It's been at least a day.
Enough for his coworkers to notice, oh, he's changed.
Yeah, it's been at least a week, a long time, enough time for him to have a day off and take Sayu shopping, and then yeah. But she's
Yeah. Also, the Kohai's advice, while excellent, is maybe not appropriate when she doesn't have all the information.
Yeah, she was speaking.
Especially considering what came of it.
She's speaking very generally. She didn't understand the situation. Like, she's given the information. The advice that she gave is good advice for most kids who have run away from home. Like she said that she knew she was a runaway. She didn't know how long she'd been a runaway. Like, she thought she maybe like when she said that how she used to run away from home, like she'd stay out for a night or two. She doesn't know Sayu's been gone for 6 months.
Yeah. Oh, I do have a note here that easy companionship and not having to do chores are acceptable reasons to keep Sayu around.
Yeah, that was the conclusion.
Yeah, it was very sweet.
Yeah.
And it was very, very sweet that he actually told her that straight out instead of, making her guess.
Yeah, and Sayu's just not used to that. She's not used to not being exploited for sexual favors.
Mm-hmm. She been raped so many times.
Oh yeah. Like as far as she's concerned, her body is the only thing she has to offer, and if people aren't after her body, she doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, she was very insecure, and it was
Yeah.
understandable.
Yeah.
But also, that fucking opening scene was entirely
It's
unnecessary.
not unnecessary. It helped to
The
establish.
length was.
Rude,
Yeah.
I guess. It was supposed to be uncomfortable, and the longer it went, the more uncomfortable it got.
Yeah, it was.
Sure, but
They were
there's
showing.
a limit to that.
It was a bit of show. A bit of show was good. Though him calling her Miyuki, was she using a fake name
Yeah.
or was he
She
calling?
always used fake names.
Yeah, but she told Yoshida her real name.
No, he took her high school ID.
Oh right.
Yeah.
She told Mishima her real name, but Mishima's not a guy, so I guess.
Yeah.
Did she?
Yeah,
Mhm.
because Mishima
No,
called her
I think she
Sayu.
heard it from
No, because Mishima called her
heard it
Sayu-chan
from-
before Yoshida showed up.
Yeah. They were chatting for at least a little while, I think, before he showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice that she's getting some supportive adults in her family, in
Yeah.
her sphere,
Yeah.
future found family.
and they're not expecting the child, to fix the adult.
Yes, and I
mean,
like.
yeah, he's got the urge to improve himself now. 'Cause
Yeah.
He's got someone depending on him.
But
But
he's
it's
doing the work, not
Yeah,
her.
they're
Yeah.
good for each other. She's good for him, and he's good for her. He's more good
Yeah.
for her than she is for him, which is also good because he's the adult and she is the child.
Yes,
And-
and I will always appreciate his distinct lack of pedo creepiness.
Yes, and there was a post going around Tumblr like a couple weeks ago. I saw that found families don't have to like stick to the typical family. What's the word? What's the word?
Dynamic?
The typical family structure, like there doesn't have to be a mom or a dad and all that kind of thing. And I like that that's what this kind of found family is going. Like, they're not really brotherly, it's not really fraternal, it's not really, he's not her dad, they're just family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that undefined type of familial bond.
Yeah, looks like she's gonna get some aunties or something from his work.
Yeah, and according to,
God, I
and
hope.
judging by the OP, it looks like she's gonna get friends her own age.
Yeah.
Hopefully she'll go to school
Getting a
soon.
part-time job in the next episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think she can go to school.
Oh, yeah, probably not.
No, probably not.
They will definitely try to get in touch with her legal guardians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's getting
Kohai's
part-time jobs.
crush. Kohai's crush was getting borderline annoying this episode, but I like how they sort of resolved that.
Yeah.
Like, she shot her shot and he wasn't interested.
Yeah. Like, she hasn't totally given up, but she's got that maybe, you know,
Right now is not the best time.
yeah. But he's still not over.
Kohai's name is Mishima.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will forget that again.
Yes.
Like the character in Persona 5.
I've
who
never
becomes
played it.
Your greatest. Oh my god. You two you bring me great shame.
I've played
Thank
Persona
you.
5, but I don't
Are we done
remember
talking about Yukihiro
Mishima.
now?
We own Persona 5. Oh no, I think I sold it, didn't I?
Tangent?
Yeah, we're done talking about Yukihiro.
Okay, so it's time for best and worst of the week. Haley, what's
Yes.
the best non-anime new show you've seen recently?
Non-anime? New? How new are we talking?
Like, you've just seen it. It doesn't have to be an actual new show, but you've just recently seen it.
Well, I did a couple weeks ago get into Star Trek Voyager for a time. That's a show. That's not the best thing I've recently discovered, because I did discover something that I can just be unabashedly angry at. But I like Star Trek Voyager. I'm about partway through season 2 now. It's cute. Not cute, but it's good.
Yeah.
As long as it stops focusing on a certain character's heritage that was informed by a charlatan who was not of that heritage and knew nothing about what he was talking about and only lied about it for clout so he could sell books.
I was looking around for my beer because I forgot I finished it.
Drink beer? That's gross.
Well, it's pineapple cider. It's Ace pineapple cider, which is why I buy it.
Oh, that makes sense.
That and because it's good.
Yeah, I love Chipotle.
Okay.
Loki's so angry. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Ace, what's the worst follow-up episode you've seen?
Worst follow-up?
Worst episode 2 of this season's premieres.
Oh, that's a good question. Because the only reason I watched any episode 2s is because I really, really liked the episode 1s.
I can keep talking if you need a chance to think.
Yes, please keep talking.
Okay, by the way, Charlie, I noticed that you very carefully did not say what's the best thing you watched recently that isn't anime. Because you do know that I would have just gone straight into a rant about Rise of Skywalker, which is a bad film that I hated, but it gives me so much to talk about. It was so bad. God.
Yes, you said many times and at length.
People keep criticizing Finn as having nothing to do in the movie, and he does do things. He doesn't do a lot, but he does lead the ground assault on the ship, the Star Destroyer that had the signal tower that they used to destroy, which was not a lot, but it was something. And he did get the other Coruscant stormtroopers involved, which was not a lot, but it was something. Also, that movie was super bad, but I do still really like the idea of a Force dyad.
Yeah, but that doesn't qualify as best.
It is the best non-anime thing I have seen in the last... Because I have not watched Star Trek Voyager this week.
It doesn't have to be the last week.
Oh, but you said recently.
Okay, so...
Okay, Ace, what's up?
Okay, so I don't have a worst, but I do have a least good. How's that?
That works.
I would say the least good is probably 300 years of slime. 300 years of slime. Yeah. Just because it's probably the least good thing that I'm watching. But it's still cute. But it's one of those. That's just one of those. 300. I've been killing the slimes for the 300 years, so I just refer to it as 300 years of slime.
That's entirely different mood.
It's
killing slimes and being slime.
Yeah. I said 300 years of slime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but but that's just because that's just one of those anime that it's really hard to say anything about other than, yep, this episode was cute. But, and yeah, this episode was cute, but there's not much else to say about it except that it's cute. So I would say that it was the least good. But it was still very good. It was very good. She has 2 daughters now. It's cute.
I'm so proud.
Yeah.
Are you ready with your plugs?
I guess. Oh. You guys go first.
I warned you at the start of the episode.
I have a plug. Wait, never mind. I have a plug.
It's a text-based adventure game. Shut up. I'm plugging something.
Okay, go. Text-based adventure.
Browser-based. Browser-based game. You get actions, draw cards, and it's set in a kind of gothic horror-y setting of London that is a mile underground and got stolen by bats or some shit. And yes, I did find it from when it was advertising on the Magnus Archives. That's not the point. It's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Play it. FallonLondon.com.
Are you ready, Ace, or should I go?
I'm going to plug Bang Dream. I downloaded it again, started playing again after Gura streamed it. It's fun. I've been playing it a lot. I had to delete a couple of apps on my phone to make room, but I ordered a new phone with 128 gigabytes of storage, so I think that might be able to fit it. So, yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Then I'm plugging 2 things because I'm the host and I can do that.
Yes, you can.
First is conlangs in general, and Mandoa in particular, because it's a beautiful language that someone worked very fucking hard on, and none of it was in The Mandalorian, and it pisses me off. You do not understand.
What is a Mandoa?
Mandoa is the language of the Mandalorians.
Oh, I've never watched Mandalorian. I refuse to. I don't spend money on
the great
Disney.
thing about Mandalorians. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't spend money on Disney, and I'm not interested enough to go through the trouble of pirating it.
That's fair. You can just believe everything I tell you about it.
Will do.
The great thing about Mandalorians, though, Ace, is that they do exist outside of the show The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They are, in fact, a
They're
great
in the video
deal
game.
of Star Wars media. You have a Mandalorian companion in both Knights of the Old Republic games. Oh, my Firefox is over my face.
And I know, and I can be a Mandalorian in the Old Republic once I get that far.
Yep, you get adopted into Mandalore himself clan.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what clan.
Okay, and then my second thing is sleep, because sleep is good, and I'm going to go do that.
Okay. Good night.
Wow.
Well, we gotta promote stuff.
Twitch.tv/Arctic Noah. At the moment, I'm working on Pokemon Emerald Nuzlocke. Like right at this very moment, I'm going to be doing it for at least a couple more hours. Possibly, well, actually, at the moment, I'm spending access in fall in London. But after that, I'm going to go back to my Pokemon Nuzlocke.
Very nice.
Arctic Noah. ARCTICKNOAH.
Yep, and I'm on twitch.tv/Ryoto, which is this one if you're watching the stream, which you probably aren't unless you're Fen, which I'm assuming is my one viewer. It's twitch.tv/RHLOTR if you're watching this on the YouTube. The link is in the doobly-doo. I stream infrequently. I've been trying to stream every day that I don't work, but I'm also trying to finish Stormblood before Endwalkers comes out, and I just started Heaven's Ward, and I'm leveling Dark Knight, so it's going to be a long time. So, yeah. Alright, Charlie.
And I'm on twitch.tv/ECPulstein. Definitely whenever doing Ace Anime reviews, which is usually Wednesday. We're going later because it's hot, and we hate it.
Because
I'm
where I
gonna
live,
stream Sundays too,
Yeah.
but that's dependent on a few things.
yeah, I live in the Mojave Desert, so it gets to be 120 degrees. So if I can't, so we have to wait until it's cool enough that I can not have my fan blaring, and you guys can actually hear us.
Yeah.
So we've moved from 3 p.m. to 8
We live
p.m.
on the edge of the Mojave Desert.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's hot.
I just lose all of my stuff.
Yeah. So I guess that's it for this week.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us. I hope you all take care. I'm
Yep.
going to bed.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
I love you.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Watch good anime. Don't watch bad anime.
Watch bad anime if you like bad anime.
Watch good bad anime like King's Game.
Yeah.
Alright, bye-bye.